everybody, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with your match preview for Newcastle United's New Year's Eve game at home against Leeds United. I still can't believe I'm saying that, football on New Year's Eve. What the hell is going on? But we're going to get stuck into this in a minute, having a look about how we think the team's going to line up and just what we think the chances are going to be for hopefully another fantastic win to see 2022 out for Eddie Howe's Mags. Just before we do a little bit of housekeeping, if you haven't already, click that like and subscribe button. We'd love you to come and join us. We are now on 2,200 subscribers. I have to get Mark to change this thing right here. But we'd love you to come and join us. All free content, never more. We don't charge a penny for this. 2 live shows Mondays and Wednesdays and pop-up videos like match previews like the one you're watching right now. So a great win against Leicester City for us. Put us at second in the league. Leeds themselves didn't play until last night. I'm recording this on a Thursday. They didn't play until last night against Manchester City, where Leeds boy Erling Haaland scored a brace. Didn't celebrate, fair play to him. But yeah, Leeds, they're kind of stuck in. They tried their best against City, but they did get overrun. Grealish found loads of pockets of space. There was loads of holes in that Leeds team, in terms of the goals as well on the break. Just people, maybe out of position, pushing forward, looking for goals. They're under a bit of pressure at home to try and get a result. They might not play that way away from home. They might be a little bit more reserved. But Jesse Marsch does require his team to be on the front foot to try and play a high press. So it will be an interesting game, as that's the way we play as well. But, I'm pretty confident that we will be able to beat Leeds United at home. We have got a really good record against Leeds, which I'll pull up in a second. But how do I think the lads are going to line up for the final game of 2022? Well, this is how I think we're going to line up. As you can see there, it's going to be that steady back five. That back five could save the day from an alien invasion. They're unbelievable, especially Sven Botman, Fabian Shaw, Trippier. I mean, Burns did amazing at left back as well. I don't think there's anybody in this Leeds team that's really going to test them, in all fairness. They are massively depleted, losing Rafinha from last year. That he was probably the only player who looked like he'd do anything against us at home last season. We were a different side then as well. We were very much in a transitional phase of trying to stay in the division, whereas now we look like we might even try and win the fucking thing. So yeah, for me, I don't think there'll be anybody to trouble Dan Burn at left back. I think those 3 in midfield will keep their place. I think Willock, Bruno Guimaraes and Longstaff, who's been brilliant, to be fair. I've seen him getting some shit on social media. I don't understand why. The lad's playing unbelievably well. He grafts his balls off. Is he the best passer of the ball in the world? No. Can he score 40-yard rakers? No. But he grafts. It's hard from minute 1 to minute 90, and he's an integral part of this run that we're on. So got the lad a bit of slack, and I think he will start again. And that front 3, providing that he is well, because he did miss the Leicester game, but I think he probably will play this game, Callum Wilson, because I think if anything else, he'll want to sign off with a goal for 2022. And I think he'll probably be okay now, the handsome bastard that he is. So he'll lead the line in the middle with Joe Litton and Miggy Almer on either side of him. And for me, at the minute, that is probably one of the best teams in the league. Certainly one of the most attacking teams in the league, one of the most solid defensive teams in the league, with one of the best goalkeepers in the league. My mate Phil, a good mate Phil, is a Leeds fan. I haven't texted him yet, but I will do. And I'm pretty sure Phil, being a pragmatic Leeds fan of many a year, is probably a bit worried that they might get a pasting at St James's Park. But do we think they're going to get a pasting? Is there grounds to think that? Maybe Leeds fans might do that. They'll bring a strong following, though. There's no doubt about that. Unbelievable that it's happening on New Year's Eve, for security reasons and policing and everything else. I just can't get my head around that. Shocking by the Premier League, really, and probably a consequential effect of this ridiculous, batshit crazy World Cup in Qatar. So I hope that everybody just has a good time, has a beer, enjoys the game, doesn't do anything stupid. There's no arseholes around at that time of the year. It's already stressful enough, I think, for the emergency services. We don't need anybody being dickheads as well. But it's not a massive distance to travel for Leeds. It's probably the closest thing we have to a derby in the Premier League, because Sunderland are shite, cough, cough, and Middlesbrough still in the Championship. But yeah, so I think we'll enjoy the game. I'm confident about this game. I really am. I'm confident about most Newcastle games now going into them. But I think against Leeds, I don't think they're anywhere near the side they were. Missing Phillips, missing Rafinha. Team news on them in terms of who may or may not make their starting lineup. The big one for them is Patrick Bamford. So apparently Patrick Bamford was close to the City game, and he might come back into the squad here alongside Tyler Adams as well, who's coming back from an injury. They're missing Stuart Dallas, who it isn't a world beater or anything like that, but he's a real hard-working player, can play in multiple positions for them, so they are missing him as well. And Lewis Siniestra and Archie Gray are also continuing their returns from ankle problems. In terms of us, obviously we're missing Alexander Isak, missing Emil Kraft, so they're good squad players. Isak's probably a starter. But other than that, we're looking in good shape. John Joe Shelby's obviously out with his calf injury, but as I've said before, and I've wrote a piece for the blog, Shelby doesn't get in the squad because he's not mobile enough. Yes, he's great on the ball, can find passes, you know, that people can't find with a sat-nav, but he's not got the legs anymore to play in this high-pressing, intense Newcastle United team. So I don't think he would even be in the squad or even the starting lineup, sorry. If he had been fit, he would have been on the bench. Yeah, so, you know, as long as Wilson can recover and start up front, lead the line, then I think we're in pretty tip-top shape. Even if he doesn't, to be fair, Chris Wood ain't a great striker, but he's done well. You know, he gets in the way, kind of occupies defenders, as that famous line goes. But, you know, the goals are coming from other areas of the pitch. Miggy's on fire. I don't see that letting up. I think Miggy will be, again, very dangerous against Leeds. Maxi's on the bench with a point to prove. Bruno's playing out of his skin. Joe Linton's back in the goals. Joe Willock will fancy another sniff of goals. Joe Willock had probably a poorer game against Leicester. Really worked well in the press. But in an attacking threat, he wasn't as good as he probably would have liked to have been, especially the fact we had so much of the game earlier on. So at home, Joe Willock will probably want to step up and show what he can do, sign off 2022 with a goal as well. So yeah, I really think that we will definitely be on the front foot in this game. And I really think we're going to go at Leeds. For me, I predicted a 3-0 victory on Evermore, and I'm standing by that. I think we will win 3-0. And I think this will be a steady away win for us to keep us in that kind of top 3 equation. I think that win, well, if City win, it won't get us to second, but if City don't win, we'll be second. But we'll finish 2022 in the top 4 if we win this game. And that is unbelievable if you think about where we were last year. So just looking at the head-to-head, so the 26 Premier League games that we've played, you can see it's heavily weighted in Newcastle United's favour, 12 to us to 7 to Leeds. We've scored 40 goals. They've scored 36, mind you, so there is goals in this game. 8 clean sheets for us and 3 clean sheets for them. So defensively, we were much better over the years. And we've got probably the best defence we've arguably ever had in the Premier League at the minute. So I really fancy us to keep a clean sheet. You can see from the kind of last few fixtures in the form guide, all wins for us, as you can see there. Leeds 2 wins out of 5 games for them. They're sitting in 15th in the league, and we're sitting in 3rd. So I think, you know, we are definitely the form team going into this. And in terms of the last 5 Premier League games that we've played against them, you know, we won 1-0, that crazy 5-2, I think Longstaff had one of his worst ever games for Newcastle, but he's a different man now. 2-1 defeat, 1-1 draw, and a 1-0 win, which I think was a Saint-Maximin goal last year. Or, yeah, Saint-Maximin goal, possibly, or even a Shelby goal. I've kind of lost my memory a little bit there, but such is the brilliant games and goals that we see for Newcastle United now. But yeah, for me, the head-to-head says it, the heart says it, the head says it. I think this is Newcastle United's game. I think it's 3 points to the Magpies. Great way to sign off at home under the unbelievable support that will be there on New Year's Eve. Newcastle will be rocking, there's no doubt about that. People will be staying on and drink on through the night to celebrate, hopefully well-behaved. Hopefully you are well-behaved if you're one of those, and have a fantastic time in the game. Have a fantastic new year as well. 3 points to Eddie Howe's Mags. Top 4 to end the year. What a year. Let's keep supporting that team of United. This is Chris signing off, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.